back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, we are doing a week 1 check-in, though technically it's been a little bit more than a week. We're about 10 days into the month. We're going to check in with our budget. We're going to see how we're doing with our variable spending, as well as, our bills, fill in this actual column a little bit here, using all of the numbers that I got when I did my expense tracking for the first week. So if you missed that video, you're going to want to check it out. I went through all of our spending, categorized everything, went really in depth with it. So I talked about what we spent, where we spent it, why we spent it. I'm going to actually pull this out, and we're going to do a little bit of a swapperoo here so that I can take a look at this expense tracker while I fill in my budget. So if you're not familiar with myself, my channel, hi, I'm Jessie. I post budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every week. I've been using a system of budgeting worksheets that I created for myself to try to get on track with my budget, save as much money as possible. We have quite a bit of debt that we're trying to pay down, though that has not been our focus so much this year. We've really just been trying to, keep track of our spending, stay on top of inflation. And I use my budget worksheets and post budget videos here every week to help keep me accountable. It's not really meant to teach you anything. It's more just like accountability for myself. If you like the worksheets that you see me using here, I do have them available on my Etsy shop. You were looking at the worksheets from my Pop of Plaid collection, which was a collection of worksheets I released for October, though the majority of my worksheets are undated, so you can use them any month of the year. Wanted to let you know that I did just release my newest collection. This is Harvest, a really beautiful collection of autumnal printables that you can use for November or any month of the year. I offer them dated and undated. My Etsy shop's linked down below. I do have a 15% off coupon code for my YouTube friends here, which I'll have linked down below as well. So if you are on a budget journey and you're struggling to find worksheets that work for you, give mine a try. They're all printable, so they're a little bit more affordable than buying like a full-on bound budget planner. And it allows you freedom and flexibility to move things around. I add my worksheets to this little disc bound system, and it works out really great for me. Maybe it'll work for you. I'm using my hybrid budget worksheet here. It's actually a 2-page spread, page 1, page 2, and this is like at a glance everything I need to keep track of in the month. So it's all of the things I pay monthly. There's a section here for each week in the month so that I can keep track of my variable spending, which is how I do it. There's a place here to write out sinking funds, any debt payments you plan to make, as well as savings. So it's a great, all encompassing 2-page worksheet, and it's my bestseller in my Etsy shop. People seem to really like it as well. So all right, let's go ahead and start plugging this information from my expense tracker to my month, my actual column here. And this is mostly where we're going to fill in bills. In this monthly section, I've written out all the bills I need to pay, plus my overall budget for things like food, gas, spending, and we will break down those things each week using the weekly section. So starting with bills, all of my bills are written in here in blue or highlighted in blue, so it makes it really easy. First one that we paid this week was our lot rent, and we paid $553, which if you look here, that is exactly what we budgeted, so we are on track there. Our water bill, we budgeted $50. We paid our water bill and it was $37.48, so we are under budget in that category, which we really like to see. And for cable, we paid $69 of the $70 that we budgeted. Jumping down here to HBO Max, we paid $15.81 and we budgeted $16. So again, under budget, that's what we like to see. Boost, we paid $120, which is just what we budgeted. And then lastly, for bills for the week, I paid Michigan Gas, and we paid $67. Oh, did I miss one? You know what, you guys? I think I did. When I was writing in my bills, I skipped right over DTE, which I did pay. Oops. Okay, so I'm actually just going to write this in here, and this total is going to be wrong. It felt like our bill total when I filmed that video was really low, and that's because I totally neglected to write in that we paid DTE. So I paid that on the 4th. So we paid DTE. The category there is bills. We'll just pretend this didn't happen, huh? It's better to pay it and forget to write it down than to write it down and forget to pay it, right? The amount we paid was $203. So I'm just gonna write plus $203. And let's get a total really quick for what we actually spent for bills. $862.29 plus $203. $1,065.29. And that means that this total also needs 203 added to it for our total that we spent. So the actual total for the week, or those 10 days, was $1,804.84. All right. So yeah, we'll just kind of add that on there and pretend like I didn't make a huge mistake when I was tracking my spending. That is the problem with tracking expenses later on rather than doing it like as you're spending the money. It's definitely ideal to track as you're doing the spending so that things like that don't happen. But we did pay DTE. It was $203, which is what we budgeted, so no harm done. In the end, I caught it, and that's what really matters. So far this month, we are on track with our budget. We either spent just what we planned to spend or a little bit less, which is what we like to see. But the place where I struggle the most with my budget is with the variable spending. So let's talk about that here. Under this week 1 section, and it was technically just over a week, was the 1st through the 10th that we're tracking for here. And my variable categories are changing up a little bit from last month because this month we gathered up our grocery spending, our household spending, and our eating out and put it into just one category, which we're calling food, which makes for a little bit of an awkward topic when we're discussing, like, I spent from my food budget and I bought flea medication, which we're obviously not eating, but that's what I titled the category, so that's what we're going with. And then we also have food, gas, spending, which I'm going to break down by person. So we have my husband, Eric, myself, and my youngest son, Austin, who is 14. We also have a 19-year-old son, but he makes his own money. He does his own budget. I don't give him cash, so I don't need to keep track of that. And then we have miscellaneous, which miscellaneous is really easy. This week, I gave us $40 in cash and we spent it all. So I'm just going to write that we spent $40. Makes it real easy, and I didn't bring my wallet in here, so I can't show you the empty envelope, but I promise we spent it all. Also, I spent all of my spending money, which was $40. And my husband and Austin, I just kind of count their money as spent. I give it to them. It's out of my budget. They spend it how and when they please. So for my husband, that's $60, and for Austin, that's $25. Usually it's $25, and actually, you guys, this is such a sad story. So I actually gave Austin his full month's worth of allowance at the start of the month because I didn't have change. I asked him, do you want me to just give you all of it? I'll go ahead and pay you for the full month. And he said, sure, that'd be great. We were on our way home from school when I did that. I gave him the cash. He stuck it in his wallet with the intention of putting it with the rest of his savings at home, and then he forgot it was in there, and he took it to school the next day, which is fine, except that he dropped his wallet when he was changing for soccer, and the wallet showed up in the lost and found the next day without the cash in it. So I paid him $100 for his allowance, and he promptly lost it, which is a really good lesson for him. He won't make that mistake again. And that's the problem with dealing with cash, is you really have to worry about it getting lost or stolen. So he definitely won't make that mistake again. It's a hard life lesson for him. He should have never had that kind of cash at school with him in the first place, but he forgot about it. It was an honest mistake. It's a mistake he won't make again. So there's a lesson for you. Be careful with your cash, because, you know, if you lose it, it's gone. Not like a credit card where you can, you know, it's not the same. So luckily he got his wallet back. It was just minus the cash, so could have been worse. All right, so those were all pretty straightforward. We spent everything we planned to spend there. For food, I've already got a total here. It's real easy. That's why I love to do the expense tracking first and add everything up. That way I can just plug the numbers in here. Super easy. So for food, for the first 10 days of the month, we spent $279.31. Now that's not entirely accurate, because we definitely used our spending money for some, like going through the drive-thru at coffee, or I used some miscellaneous money at a concession stand one day when we were at a soccer game. But when it comes to the cash, I don't really write down what I spent, where I spent it. I just spend it until it's gone, and when the cash is gone, I stop spending. And that is what works out for me. You can get super anal about it and write down like every single penny you spend. I don't get too caught up in semantics. If I did that, I would make myself crazy, and I would hate the budgeting process. I just make it as easy as possible on myself. So that's how we've done it. Do what works for you. Personal finance is personal. Okay, so lastly then we have gas, which we spent $110.24 in the first 10 days. So now that we know what we spent, let's see what we have remaining for the rest of the month, and that'll tell me whether I'm on track or if I need to, you know, like buckle down on the spending. So our food budget, we started out the month with $1,200. In those first 10 days, we spent $279.31, which means for the rest of the month, we have $920 with 69 cents remaining. So that's really not bad at all. I'm gonna just double check that and make sure. 1,200 minus 279.31. Yeah, $920, and we got about 20 days left in the month. I mean, if we only spent $279.31 in the first 10 days, and we did that for, you know, the next 10 days and the next 10 days, $279.31 times 3, that would only be $837.93. So, I mean, if we could keep spending the way we spent in the first 10 days, that'd be great. I don't know if that's feasible, but it is what it is. Okay, so for gas, we started with $240. And we've already spent $110.24. Yikes. So that means we only have $129.76 remaining for the month. So that's a sad story. We'll have to see if we can stick to that or not. Gas is different from like spending money or food money. We can't really control it other than just like trying to get gas as cheap as possible. We always shop for our gas at the Murphy station. Because we have Walmart Plus, we get a 10-cent discount per gallon of gas. And so, like the Walmart gas station, Murphy is already the cheapest in our town. Plus we get a discount, so we usually try to fill up there. We did do quite a bit of driving in the first 10 days with my husband being on vacation. We were back and forth to the camper more than usual. Camping season's pretty much coming to a close now, with the exception of when my husband goes there for hunting trips. soccer season's over, so we're not driving as much in terms of like going back and forth to soccer games and soccer practice. So maybe that 129 will do it. If we go a little bit over, it's just one of those things where it like is what it is. So for spending for the month, I have it all lumped together as $500. So for my husband, that's $60 a week for 4 weeks. For myself, it's $40 a week for 4 weeks. For Austin, it's $25 a week for 4 weeks. And of course, we already know he's got no money remaining because I gave it all to him and then he had it. Well, it was lost, but somebody definitely stole it. Like the janitor found the wallet and turned it in, but it had already been cleaned out of the cash. So that's really a bummer. I feel so awful for him, but lesson learned. Okay, so for my husband, 60 times 4, he has a total of 240 minus 60. That means he has 180 left for the month. For myself, 40 times 4, 160 minus 40, I have 120 left. That's just how I do it. So remaining then, we have a total of 300 of the 500 for the month. We always stick to our spending money. The only one who ever goes over is me, and I'm trying to be really, really careful about spending. We've been off the rails with our spending and our eating out and just in general with our budget for months now. We're really trying to reel it in for the last quarter of the year. We'll see how it goes. And then for miscellaneous, we started with 160, we spent 40. That leaves us with 120 for the rest of the month. So really we're on track, other than the devastating loss of Austin's cash, which he's already kind of over it. Luckily, he's not broke. He does have a job. He does have money in savings. It was just, you know, $100 is a lot for a 14-year-old. And the gas situation we're going to have to keep an eye on. Other than that, we're still in pretty good shape. We'll just have to kind of see how the rest of the month goes. Let's really quickly figure out what we spent, in variable spending for the first 10 days of the month. $629.55. And then remaining, my apologies for those of you that hate the clickety-clack of my calculator. I personally love it. So we still have $1,470 with 45 cents remaining for the month. Overall, we're in really good shape. I think. So that's good. One quick thing. I need to flip this guy over. We're going to add in our debt payments. So we paid our camper and our golf cart this week. As you can see, camper, golf cart, 200, 150, which is just what we planned. So we'll write those actual totals in. And the other thing I need to do, I totally forgot last week, to do our 50 envelope challenge. So what I'm going to do, because I keep forgetting about it, I'm just going to go ahead and pick 4 envelopes for the month and get them all written in here. If you're not familiar with my savings goal for this year, we've been doing the 50 envelope challenge, 1 envelope per week. Just at the start of the year, I wrote 1 through 50 on an envelope. We pick an envelope each week, we stuff it, that cash goes towards the fund I have for my son's car, who's 14. He'll be 16 before you know it. We will be buying him a car, used car. So I have the envelopes here. I'm just going to pick 4 randomly and stuff them. Probably going to just do the stuffing off camera. My cash stuffing videos have kind of flopped lately. Let me know if you guys want to see cash envelope stuffing as part of my budget videos, but this week I'm just going to kind of do it in my own time off camera. So I'm just going to pick randomly 4 envelopes. Okay. So this is what we're stuffing for the month of October. $12, $8, $36, and $22. So I'm just gonna write these in here. So for week 1, we'll do 8. Envelope for week 2, 12. Envelope for week 3, 22. An envelope for week 4 is 36. So we'll just do it all at once, get it out of the way, that way I can stop forgetting about it. So 8 plus 12 plus 22 plus 36, $78 we're gonna save towards my son's car this month. Not a lot, but every little bit helps. I like the 50 envelope challenge just because it's something fun. Sorry about that, friends. I talked so much and so long that I filled up my SD card. So if the lighting or the angle or anything changed, that's why. I just had to empty my card and start fresh. So what was I saying? Oh, about the envelope challenge. I've liked the envelope challenge. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it again in 2023 or if I'm just going to set a specific amount aside each week for my son's car. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Like, it's fun, but not knowing ahead of time how much I'm going to have to set aside for savings kind of messes me up. And then I do things like this where I forget for a couple of weeks that I'm supposed to be stuffing envelopes, and then I have to go back or forward or whatever. So I'm going to continue it for the rest of the year, but next year I might do something different. Let me know what you guys think, if you have any ideas for fun savings challenges, or if you think I should just set aside like $50 a week, or what you think I should do. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so that is everything. I think we've got everything up through the 10th of the month tracked, and we seem like we're in pretty good shape. Could be better, of course. Could always be better, but yeah, that's my weekly check-in. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know how you are doing for October. Are you sticking to your budget so far? Have you had any major snafus in your budget? Luckily, it's been pretty smooth sailing for me, so hopefully that will continue. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, like I always say, give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here every single week. Love to have you come back, come along on my budgeting journey. Plus, I post other things like grocery hauls and vlogs here and there, so if you like that kind of content, this is a place for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!